Baby, when you don't wear makeup, you look exactly like the kind of woman that men write songs about, but never actually deserve. And I know that sounds like something someone says to be smooth, like a line that's been rehearsed in front of a mirror and deployed at the right moment for maximum effect. But I need you to hear me when I tell you that I have never meant anything less like a line in my entire life. I mean this from somewhere so far below the surface of clever that it almost embarrasses me to say it out loud. Because what I'm trying to tell you is something I've been carrying quietly, something that has been looking for the right words for longer than I want to admit. And the closest I can get, the most honest I can be, is that the version of you that exists, without all the extra, without the armor that the world has convinced you that you need, is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever been close to. And I need you to stay with me, because I'm going somewhere with this. I'm not just talking about your face. I want you to understand that from the beginning. I'm not just talking about your face. I've been thinking about this for a long time, about the specific courage it takes for a woman to let herself be seen without the things she's learned to hide behind. And I use the word courage deliberately, because I genuinely know that it is not a small thing. The world has spent a very long time telling you that your natural face is a starting point that needs improvement, that the way you actually look when you roll out of bed in the morning is a rough draft rather than a finished thing, that there are steps and products and techniques standing between the real you and the acceptable you. The world has been saying that to you since before you were old enough to question it. And so you learned. You learned to reach for the things that fill in and cover up and enhance. And eventually it became so automatic that you stopped even noticing you were doing it. Stopped noticing the moment every morning when you looked at your real face and decided it needed something more. I want to tell you what I see when that moment doesn't happen. When you just exist. When you haven't decided yet that you need to be anything other than what you woke up as. I see something that no amount of skill or product or effort could manufacture. I see the specific geography of a face that has lived, that has laughed until the skin around its eyes remembers how, that has cried in the real unself-conscious way, that leaves a mark, that has spent time in weather and light and shadow and carried all of it without apology. I see a face that is entirely yours, that belongs to no category and no standard, that is so specifically and irreducibly you, that it takes my breath away in a way that curated beauty simply cannot. Curated beauty I can admire from a distance. The real version of you, I feel somewhere in my chest, and I know, there is probably a voice in your head right now that is pushing back against this. There is probably a very well-practiced, very convincing voice that has a list of things it would like to point out. The dark circles you cover every morning, the unevenness that concealer was invented for, the texture that foundation smooths away, the things you have decided, based on years of absorbing a world that profits from your insecurity, are problems that require solutions. I know that voice. I have watched it work on the people I care about. I have seen what it costs, not just in time and money, which are real costs, but in the deeper cost of spending years of your life in a low-level argument with your own reflection, never quite landing on a version of yourself that feels like enough. I want to be the voice that is louder than that one tonight. I want to say something to you that reaches the place underneath where that critical voice lives, the place it doesn't usually get to touch. Are you listening? Are you really listening? You are enough. In your most unguarded, unpolished, early morning, slightly tired, real light of day version. You are not almost enough, or enough with a few adjustments, or enough if you just fixed one or two things. You are completely, fully, without addendum, enough. And not in the participation trophy way. Not in the everyone is beautiful consolation prize way. In the specific, personal, I am talking about you way. The particular arrangement of everything that makes up your face, your expression, the way your features move when you're feeling something. That specific thing is beautiful. To me, right now, without anything added to it, I want to tell you about a moment I keep coming back to. I don't know exactly when it was. Time moves strangely when you're paying attention to the things that actually matter, in the specific way I'm describing. Unguarded, unperformed, just present, just alive, just fully occupying the face you were born with, without any interference. And something happened in me that I wasn't prepared for. Not attraction, though that was there too. Something underneath attraction, something older and less explicable. Recognition, almost. The feeling of encountering something true in a world that is very full of things that are not. I've been chasing that feeling ever since. I've been trying to understand what it was about that version of you that reached so far into me, that touched something that doesn't usually get touched. And what I've arrived at, after sitting with it for a long time, is this: the version of you without the extras, is the version that is fully present. It's the version that isn't managing anything, isn't maintaining anything, isn't performing anything. It's just you, looking out at the world with your real eyes and your real face and your real everything, and there is a quality of presence in that, a quality of just being here, that is so rare and so magnetic and so quietly extraordinary, that I don't have better words for it than beautiful. That's the best word I have. Beautiful. But I want to go deeper than that word, because I think you deserve more than one word, even a good one. I want to try to describe what I actually mean when I say it. When you don't wear makeup, I see your tiredness on the days when you're tired. And I find that beautiful, not despite itself, but because of what it means. That you are a person who pushes through, who shows up even when the tank is low, who keeps being present in the world, even on the days when the world has asked too much. I see the way your face holds your mood before you've decided to share it. All the micro expressions that the surface of a made-up face can sometimes mute. And I find that beautiful because it means I'm getting the real broadcast, the unedited signal, the you that isn't being managed for anyone's comfort. I see the things that the world has taught you to call flaws, and I want to sit with each of them for a moment and tell you individually that they are not what you've been told they are. The circles under your eyes are not a problem. They are the record of your late nights, your overthinking, your love for things that kept you up past when you should have slept, your rich and full and sometimes exhausting inner life. They are evidence that you feel things deeply enough, that sometimes the feeling follows you into sleep, and your body carries the record of it. I find them extraordinary. I find them intimate in the way that only true things are intimate. The unevenness that you reach for the concealer to address every morning. I need you to hear me on this. That unevenness is what makes your face a face and not a mask. Symmetry and smoothness and evenness are what we put on things we manufacture. The real world, the living world, the world of actual faces on actual people who have actually been alive and feeling and moving through time. That world is not even. It is beautifully, specifically, irreplaceably uneven. And the particular way that you are uneven is something I would not trade for any amount of manufactured perfection. Perfection is cold. Perfection keeps you at a distance. Your realness, your particular unsmoothed, honest realness is warm. It pulls me in. It makes me want to be closer, not farther away. There is something I want to say about mornings specifically. I think mornings are the most honest part of the day. Before the performance begins, before you've had a chance to